So, with Owl House still on fresh in everyone's mind, I thought it'd be kind of fun to do a fanfiction idea talking about a crossover that I've kind of done about 3 times, but this is, I guess you could consider Godzilla Owl House 4 Atomic Magic. So, here we go. So this will contain a few spoilers for Owl House Watching and Dreaming, but it'll make sense in a bit. So anyway, so this takes place in the years between the finale and, well, the very end. More or less the time of the rebuilding of the Boiling Isles after everything that happened with Belos and the Collector. Essentially what it is that Luz and everyone else are still trying to pick up the pieces, and magic isn't as strong as it used to be. Even though King is still there, King is still young, and having all that pressure of trying to take care of all the magic in the world and its connection to him, it's a little tough. It's a little tough on King. So Luz, and this is when like Hootie goes, "Too bad there aren't any other Titans in the world, hoot hoot." And that gives Luz an idea, to which Luz is like, "Hootie, you just gave me an idea." And that's when he responds with, "Now I know this is crazy. You got an idea from Hootie." And that's when Luz just throws out the idea of, what if we could bring another Titan to the Boiling Isles and have him, that person, take the burden of magic. And to which everyone's like, "You know where a Titan is?" And he's like, "Well, they're not called Titans in our world, they're called kaiju in our world." And Luz explains, what if I could bring a monster from my world, a Titan per se, from my world to here, and see what we would do, see if like its impact will affect the magic. And they're like, "Cool. Who are you thinking?" And she's like, Godzilla. And they're like, "Excuse," and to which this does kind of loosely connect with the Godzilla Owl House trilogy I did a little while back, and everyone, and Hunter, Amity, and Gus and Willow are like, "Hey, excuse me, you want to bring Godzilla to the Boiling Isles? Do you hear yourself right now? Do you know what he's capable of?" And to which she's like, "Yeah, but like maybe Godzilla's radiation can like do something to our magic." And they're like, "Yeah, it will do something to our magic. Mess it up, or it could just destroy it entirely. You don't know what it could do." And Luz is like, "Look, we have to try. I mean, we could shoot for Mothra, but we don't know if Mothra's magic will work with ours. So maybe we could work with something. Maybe we could work with something. Maybe we could work with something else, and maybe Godzilla will either supercharge our magic, or make it go it turn into something else. Either way, it's a long shot, but I think if we bring Godzilla here, maybe he can help save the magic." And everyone's like, "Well, it's worth a shot. I mean, we could always send him back." And then Amity brings up, okay, let's assume we do that. Like, how are we going to bring Godzilla to the Boiling Isles to begin? How are we going to bring him here? And she goes, "Well, I could speak to King. Maybe I can speak to him." And it's like, and they're like, "You are going a lot of ifs here, Luz." So, yeah, but Luz is like, maybe, well, he is kind of Titanish, and I could understand the language of Titans. And they're like, you're really basing this on nothing, aren't you, Luz? So, but Luz is like, "I can do this. I can totally do this." So Luz goes back to Earth, and along with Ida and King, they all head out to Monster Island. They go to Monster Island and go look, and after encountering a few kaiju that try to eat them, they encounter Godzilla, and Luz makes her case to Godzilla, and yeah, turns out that not only can Luz speak to Titans, she can speak to kaiju. It's not like Godzilla could be like, "Hey, Anguirus." It's not like Godzilla versus Gigan. It's more like she can understand his growls and roars, and to which she's like, "Hey, Godzilla, how about you come here? Like, how would you come to the Boiling Isles? You won't be attacked by humans anymore. You won't have to fight. It'll be a nice little retirement. And Godzilla's just like, okay. Godzilla agrees, and with the help of the Collector, they manage to move Godzilla from Earth to the Boiling Isles. And yeah, turns out that his radiation does have an effect on magic, and it has a major effect on magic. It's like supercharging it. With his very presence is like changing magic, and since it's bonded with kings, it's like giving it more power than ever. However, there's still the problem of like Kikimora and Odalia, who have gathered together some of the remaining members of Belos's loyalists in what was the Emperor's Coven, and they're like, they summoned a god for us to worship, and bring magic. So why don't we bring a devil instead? A devil we could control. So what happens is that Odalia and the others bring their magic together and summon Destroya they bring Destroya to the island. However, they couldn't it's not like since they didn't have the Collector to move Godzilla from one space to another. Here it was a little different. They could only move Destroya in bits, so it's more like their crab-like form. And it goes about as well as you think for Odalia and Kikimora, because here Destroya kills and consumes their oxygen, but also their magic. And now Destroya has a taste for all this power, and he's ready to feed. So, Destroya in those little crab forms is just swarming everywhere, and of course Godzilla, is already like detecting Godzilla's detecting Destroya's presence on the island, and what he does is just go apeshit, because now he knows Godzilla is feeding on magic users, and when he forms together, he forms back into his true self. Godzilla and Destroya just proceed to wreck house on the island. They are just going at it in this battle, and they're fighting in the oceans. They're just and their very movements are causing like this wave of acid tsunami on the island. It's just causing more harm than good, and to which the battle is so bad. The battle gets so bad between Godzilla and Destroya that Mothra arrives with the twin fairies. And the fairies tell Luz, like, your heart was in the right place, but neither Godzilla nor Destroya belong here. So Mothra jumps into the fight with Godzilla, and together the two of them beat Destroya. And with her magic, Mothra and the Collector open up a new portal that sends Godzilla and Destroya, everyone back. It sends all three kaiju back to Earth. And Luz is like, what have I done? This was awful. I nearly killed everyone. And to which the fairies are like, oh, don't worry about it. Your heart was in the right place. But yeah, your heart was in the right place, Luz. But this is it. Like, saving magic is its own thing. Also, they turn to King and go, one day you'll be the one who will be, the guardian of this magic. So keep growing, young king. And that's how the story ends, with everyone like, oh, cool, let's just keep building. let's keep forging ahead instead of trying to find like a shortcut out of it. So there you go, guys. That is pretty much Godzilla the Owl House. You guys tell me in the comments below what you guys think of it. Like it, hate it, comment below, let me know. And once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.